All right, crime fighters, welcome back for another edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted, where you get to help us make Calhoun County a better and safer place by helping us lock up some bad guys and solve some unsolved crimes. I'm your host, Chris Wright, along with Chief Deputy Matthew Wade from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Good to see you, Matthew.
Oh, it's always good to be on the show, Chris, and especially after Thanksgiving, man. It's just feeling full and blessed. So I'm
glad you survived frying all those turkeys.
We fried 212 turkeys. It's not our all-time high, but you know, I don't get any more for frying 250 versus frying 212. But been doing this now for 11 times, and I got great people. This year, it was probably one of the best years we ever had. Staff, you know, there's so many people that want to be involved and they just know their part and they go do it. And man, we were done by 3 o'clock. We fried from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock, we fried 212 turkeys.
It's a lot of turkeys. I'm sure it fed a lot of people, and some people still got plenty of it in the fridge, making those leftover fried turkey sandwiches.
Hey, I like it, man. That's, you know, one of my favorites, but you know, it's good. You know, the biggest payment I get is when somebody says we had a turkey and it was great. And, you know, past 2 years we've asked for donations. You know, we fry your turkey for free, but we ask people to give a $15 donation if they'd like. And we give every dime of that to the Alabama Baptist Children's Home. And we collected $1,583 or so, and deputies decided we wanted to pitch in a little more, so we pitched in the remaining amount to make it an even $2,000 that we delivered to Ted Embry and the Alabama Baptist Children's Home yesterday. We know it don't solve all their problems. We know that $2,000 will help them.
It helps them continue the great work that they're doing.
It helps them continue the great work. They got around 40 children that they're taking care of right now, so $2,000 I'm sure is always needed around Christmas time. And while we were there, the sheriff and I and a couple other deputies that went with me, we unloaded a U-Haul truck full of food. So Ted didn't miss any opportunity for free labor, and we were glad to do it. You know, yeah, like I said, I've been blessed beyond measure and really thankful for everything I got. And you know, hopefully that what we do, somebody else will see it as an opportunity for them to think of a way to help somebody else.
Absolutely. All right. Well, let's talk about what the viewers have done to help us out over the past week and help us catch some more bad guys.
3 arrests, you've never let us down, and those are faces that are in jail, and brings the count up to 3,548 people arrested, all because somebody got involved and watched this television show, and really, once again, just amazed at the results we get from it.
That's how it works. We tell you about the folks that we're looking for or some crimes that we need some help solving, and then you call in whatever information you have, and hopefully we get some arrests made out of that, and the whole community is safer because of it. And we also try to share some good information with you, which we will be doing here in just a few minutes. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll have the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wash my camo so I'm ready for hunting season.
Get that stuff out of my washer. You should take it to a laundromat.
There isn't any good laundries around here.
Sure there is. Washington Aniston Coin Laundry on Quintard across from Walgreens and beside the Social Security office.
They have a washer that can handle a real man's jacket?
They have the biggest washers and dryers around, and you can get all your stuff finished within an hour.
Awesome. I'm headed to Washington Aniston Coin Laundry at 829 Quintard, and then I can take the rest of the day to get my other gear ready.
Or maybe you can finish the yard work.
Yeah, right after I sight my bow.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Mindy Amberson, filling in for Katina Houston for this week's parent tip for Family Links. With Thanksgiving behind us and Christmas just weeks away, images of smiling families and family togetherness color every TV, website, and magazine in America. But for many parents, learning how to make the best holiday meal or have the best decorated lawn are last on the priority list. There are much bigger concerns, like making sure your son doesn't hit his sister at the dinner table, or knowing what to say when your mother-in-law criticizes your parenting. The holiday gatherings do not have to be a time for a performance where your child's behavior takes center stage. If you feel judged, embarrassed, or ashamed, remember this: don't compare your insides to everyone else's outsides. On the inside, parents are often full of worry and concern for their children, their relationships, and their own well-being. Sometimes we compare these emotions to how we see other families. We engage in negative thinking, hold ourselves to unrealistic standards, and assume the worst about our parenting. It may look like other parents have it all together. They have the perfect house, the perfect marriage, the perfect well-behaved kids, but inside their homes, a lot goes on that you don't see. There's a good chance the perfect family is going through the same internal struggle as you. For parents of kids with challenging behavior, the added pressure of the holidays can be especially difficult. It's important to take care of yourself. Ease anxiety by sticking with routine as much as possible, and be clear about your family's approach to the holidays. This includes talking with your kids ahead of time about your expectations for their behavior. If your son has a hitting habit, talk through what he can do when he's feeling angry with his sister instead of hitting her, and what your response will be if they can't follow the rules. You can't control anyone else's choices, but you do have control over your own response. Remember, you may not have had a spectacular Thanksgiving, and you may not have a picture-perfect Christmas, but that doesn't mean you can't celebrate, even if it means finding one small thing at a time to be grateful for this holiday season. For more family tips, please contact Family Links at 256-820-5911.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up in our lineup this week, Donna Lawson. Miss Lawson, last known to be living in Jacksonville. She's wanted for failure to appear on attempted illegal possession of a credit card. And this is Mark Cave. Mr. Cave, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on destroying state property by an inmate. And we'd like you to meet Daniel Reynolds. Mr. Reynolds, last known to be living in Weaver, he's wanted for probation revocation on theft of property third. And this is Christina Broom. Miss Broom, last known to be living in Center, she's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property second. And take a look at Rashard Johnson. Mr. Johnson, last known to be living in Jacksonville, he's wanted on probation revocations for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle and resisting arrest. And take a look at Jeffrey Beal. Mr. Beal, last known to be living in Piedmont, he's wanted for failure to appear on theft of property second. And last up for the first half of our lineup, Christopher Kelly. Mr. Kelly, last known to be living in Piedmont, he's wanted on probation violation for manufacture of a controlled substance. And that's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
And we are back on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We'll have some more bad guys for you here in just a few minutes, but right now, Matthew, we want to welcome Lindsay to the show. Lindsay, you're with the NAMI of Jacksonville, which NAMI is North America or National Alliance for the Mentally Ill.
National Alliance on National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Okay, all right. So eventually we get it right there if I let you do it. Okay,
yes.
So it's pretty self-explanatory, but for anybody that didn't quite get it after I confused the issue, what is it that NAMI does?
Okay, well, NAMI is a nationwide organization that we help people. Caregivers, the clients themselves, anybody, friends, family, all those that are involved with mental illness in some form or fashion. We provide support, information, education, and advocacy services. It's a free organization to come to the meetings. If you actually want to join NAMI, there is a fee. But meetings are free. There's meetings all over the state of Alabama. let's see.
And one of those meetings that's coming up soon is actually going to be a party, isn't it?
Yeah, we're going to have our annual NAMI Jacksonville Christmas party. It'll be next Tuesday, December 8th at 6 o'clock at the K.L. Brown Community Room at the funeral home. We're going to be providing the ham and the turkey, and everybody that's coming is going to bring a side dish. So it's going to be a lot of fun. There will be a gift exchange if people want to participate. It's not required, obviously, but if you want to, that's fine. We're just going to have a great time with, fellowshipping with each other and just chatting. We have some other events coming up in January, February, March, and April. We have Dr. Randolph coming in January. There'll be somebody talking about PTSD, and we'll have an update about the mental health center. There's some changes going on with the CRP program. And there's another one, but I can't think of it right on
It's all
there.
right.
Tons of stuff.
We've got enough to talk about for now. But,
yes.
John Garlick, of course, viewers of the show, you're very familiar with John. You see him on here all the time and hear his voice during the lineup and such. But John, some people may not realize, is the mental health officer for Calhoun County, something that so many communities still don't have. And John, I know that you love events like this where people actually get out and talk about mental illnesses and don't just leave it swept under the rug.
Right, it's a huge issue, and there's still a big stigma about mental illness that doesn't need to be there. It's a disease like any other disease. Oh, yeah. It's unfortunate, though, that the families tend to be embarrassed by it and they don't want to talk about it, and the public has misconceptions. We need to get the word out, and more importantly, we need to improve our treatment systems. We need to have better delivery of services. We need to have a better standard of care. We need to standardize that standard of care. And all those things we're working on.
It is. If somebody was sick or had cancer, they would seek treatment. If they had the flu and they would get any better, they would go to the doctor. But many times we see in law enforcement that people are mentally ill and just go left untreated for long periods of time, and it's just very difficult and saddening that because of that, a lot of times they end up in jail because there's nowhere else. They end up committing a crime because nobody will get them help, or there's no resources available to them. And as a law enforcement officer, that's really heartbreaking because that's not where they need to be.
And of course, some people. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's really tragic because, as Matthew said, it's like cancer or even like diabetes. A diabetic, if they change their diet, monitor their medication, monitor their insulin, they can get married, hold a job. Nobody knows. Except maybe they have an insulin pump. You can see that they're a diabetic. Mm-hmm. It's the same with mental illness. If we improve the delivery of services and standardize the care, then people will take their medication, go to their therapy, because that's what it is, it's medication and therapy. If they have a family support system, as you would if you were a diabetic, then there's no reason that anybody would know that you're suffering from this illness. Mm-hmm. You're taking your meds, you're going to your counseling, and everything will be fine. Unfortunately, 67% of people with mental illness don't seek treatment because they don't have a family support.
Lindsay, if someone is thinking, well, I don't want to get into all that, I don't want to go see a doctor, but I do want to at least talk a little bit about this, is NAMI a safe place for that?
Oh yes, definitely. Yes, everybody is welcome to come. It is a little disconcerting, you're a little shy about talking about such a taboo subject that we're trying to, eradicate that stigma. NAMI is the best place to go. So I encourage everybody out there, all y'all out there, I encourage all of y'all to go to your local NAMI affiliate. Here in Calhoun County, it's NAMI Jacksonville. There is one in Center, Alabama, if you're up that way. And check out NAMIalabama.org. You can find a list of all of the different affiliates in Alabama. You'll learn a lot more about the NAMI Alabama. And of course, NAMI.org is the national website that you can check out as well.
That's NAMI.org,
yeah,
or NAMIalabama.org.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to take a quick break, but we want to talk to you some more about this and some of the things that some of our viewers may be dealing with right now. We'll be back in just a few moments with the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Amazing Grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
a crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was
Homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost.
but now I am
Sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to wash my camo so I'm ready for hunting season.
Get that stuff out of my washer. You should take it to a laundromat.
There isn't any good laundries around here.
Sure there is. Washington Anderson Coin Laundry on Quintard, across from Walgreens and beside the Social Security office.
They have a washer that can handle a real man's jacket?
They have the biggest washers and dryers around, and you can get all your stuff finished within an hour.
Awesome. I'm headed to Washington Anderson Coin Laundry at 829 Quintard, and then I can take the rest of the day to get my other gear ready.
Or maybe you can finish the yard work.
Yeah, right after I sight my bow.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, Jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Philip Amison. Mr. Amison, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for bond revocation on possession and receipt of a controlled substance. And this is Terrence Taylor. Mr. Taylor, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for probation violation on discharging a gun into an occupied building. Take a look at Maurice Simmons. Mr. Simmons, last known to be living in Delta. He's wanted on a bond revocation for theft of property first. And meet Michael Leonard. Mr. Leonard, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted for probation violation on possession of a forged instrument second. And this is Christopher Bryan. Mr. Bryan, last known to be living in Piedmont. He's wanted as a Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act violator and a probation violation on Sex Offender Registration and Notification Act. He is a registered sex offender. We need to find him and get him off the street. And this is Delantfort Whetstone. Mr. Whetstone, last known to be living in Anniston. He's wanted on a probation violation for theft of property first. And last up in our lineup this week, Marcus Salter. Mr. Salter, last known to be living in Jacksonville. He's wanted for failure to appear on possession of marijuana second. And that's it for our lineup. If you know the whereabouts of these folks, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers, 256-238-1414.
All right, coming up in just a few minutes, it'll be time for our Crazy Criminal of the Week. And Matthew, I understand that we have a local Crazy Criminal this week.
We have a homegrown Crazy Criminal this week that happened here in Calhoun County, and I can't wait to talk about it. So.
All right. We still, though, have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show coming up. And we're also talking with Lindsay from NAMI of Jacksonville, the National Alliance for Mental Illness.
Right.
Or close enough to...
That's close.
Close
enough.
I'm still not going to get it exactly right. But anyway, you understand what we're talking about here. We're talking about mental illness and how people can get some help here locally at the Jacksonville chapter of NAMI. And Lindsay, if somebody's sitting at home watching thinking, there's somebody in my family or somebody in my workplace, somebody that I come into contact with on a daily or regular basis that I think has an issue that they're not properly dealing with, that could be a very difficult situation because you don't want to invade that person's privacy, but at the same time you want to offer help to them in whatever way you can. So what advice do you have, and what are some of the things that you should be looking out for?
Well, the advice I have would be to go to your local, go to the website like I referred, NAMIalabama.org or NAMI.org to get your local affiliates numbers, because they're all listed there. If you go to the website, NAMIalabama.org, you'll go over to the affiliates section, click on that, and you'll go down to NAMI Jacksonville, and you'll see a phone number and a contact name. So feel free to call that number and ask for help. You can get lots of information off the internet these days. Another suggestion I have would be to go to the mental health center, and ask for help that way. Maybe make an appointment. Or
if you're asking for help, though, for someone else, is the mental health
it's a
center,
little
is that
tricky.
invading some privacy there? Is that crossing that line?
Yeah, I would just encourage that person, go up to them and be like, hey, I see some things and I'm not really thinking they're positive here, so I think you might need to go seek some help.
Certainly it's one thing, you need to understand more about mental illness, and NAMI, both websites, all of their resources are tremendous to learn what mental illness is, what it isn't, and then going to the NAMI meeting is a very safe way to talk to people who are living with it, because NAMI not only works with the consumer, the client, but also the family, and it's a support group for the families, because it's a tough thing to live with mental illness, and it's a tough thing to be that supporting family member. So NAMI provides all kinds of information, all kinds of support. So if you're seeing something in somebody and you're going, that looks like something, learn more about what you think it might be. And again, we're back to the stigma. If you started coughing and you said you had a sore throat, I'd go, wow, Chris, sounds like you got a cold. Have you gone to the doctor? Are you taking your vitamins? You'd have no problem answering that. We really need to get that way with mental illness. If I knew that you were perhaps bipolar and had some psychotic features about it, and you started talking about seeing spacemen beaming into your backyard, I might say, hey, Chris,
that's not
you know you're having a problem with this, right? Because there really aren't spacemen. Maybe you and I need to go somewhere, and we get that taken care of. And we need that open dialogue. We need trust built between the consumers and the family members. And if we do that, then it's not this mysterious, scary, embarrassing thing.
And that's one thing John does for us as a mental health officer. We do come across people that are having mental issues at a scene, or he gets called to, but he also deals with a lot of family members who call and go, I got a family member, something's not right, I don't know what to do, and John can walk them through the process of getting them to mental health or through the probate court, to having them evaluated if they don't want to get help and they're in a desperate time. So John can help them with that, and that's part of being a mental health officer, is just not dealing with people that are at a crime scene or at a scene where there is a problem. He can also deal with family members who call and go, hey, something's going on with my family member, I really don't know what to do, what's the process, how do I do things? And John is excellent at helping people with that every day, and he's always on the phone, and there's no telling how many thousands of people he helps.
And we do all have a responsibility for watching out for this kind of thing. If we see somebody that we know is not capable of being behind a car, behind the wheel of a car for some physical reason, we're going to address that. If we know that someone is a danger to society and they're not taking their medicine or whatever, we do have some responsibility, don't we?
Yeah, or even if it may not be as severe as a danger to society or even a danger to themselves, but they're having a problem, and it's keeping them from relating well to their family. It's keeping them from going to work on time or even getting a job to begin with. Those are problems, and they need to be dealt with, and they can be. That medication and therapy is the standard of care. When I say we have to standardize that, it's what kind of therapy and how often, and what kind of meds and how often. We tend to not educate our consumers. Psychiatrists are very quick to say, here's your med, take it every day. They don't explain why, they don't explain what your disease is, they write it off as a chemical imbalance. If you were a diabetic and the doctor said, well, you just need to change your diet and take your insulin and let me know if you're having a problem, we'd have a lot of hurting diabetics, but they take a lot of time to explain what the disease is and how you have to change your lifestyle. We need to get that way with our mental health consumers.
Unfortunately, we don't have enough time to explain it all here on the show. We're running out of time, but Lindsay, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being in Jacksonville when people need you on a regular basis. Again, NAMI.org or NAMIalabama.org is where people can go to contact you.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And
thank you.
Good luck with the Christmas party 1 week from Tuesday. It'll be December the 8th, right? At 6 o'clock, you said?
Yep, December 8th at 6 o'clock at K.L. Brown Funeral Home in the community room on Highway 204 in Jacksonville.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right. We'll be back in just a moment, and we will have the Crime Stoppers segment of the show and our Crazy Criminal of the Week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Big news for homebuyers searching through all those complicated mortgage options. AOD Federal Credit Union is now offering new, out-of-the-box mortgage solutions. Mortgage loan manager Jamie Bailey will help find the best rates and quickest approval for you. Conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, jumbo, HARP, and more. Call Jamie Bailey at 256-241-8218. Out-of-the-box mortgage services. Reason number 4 that you belong with AOD Federal Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA. All loans subject to credit approval. Certain restrictions apply. Equal housing lender.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was.
Homeless,
Broken. Sad.
just lost. But now I am sober.
Happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
And welcome to the Crime Stoppers portion of our show, where we want you to take a look at some of these cases and give us a hand. First up, between August 23rd and November 23rd, this residence on Cochrane Springs Road in Ohatchee was broken into. They got away with a heating and air unit, an air conditioner window unit, and some tools. And sometime between November 25th and November 26th, this residence on Riddle Farm Road in Anniston was broken into. Damage was caused to the residence, but nothing has been reported stolen at this time. And last up on your caseload, between November 25th and November 28th, a Polaris Outlaw ATV was stolen from this residence on Cedar Springs Road in Jacksonville. And that's it for your caseload. If you have any information on these cases, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers, 256-238-1414. Remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
A lot of times we have to scan the globe to find our crazy criminal of the week. This week, we don't have to leave Calhoun County.
I tell you what, we really like it when people hand deliver us something that's easy. I mean, I'm a, by nature, I take the easy route.
Right.
But we've been having some thefts in the area, and we've been really looking for this guy, and just stealing different types of chainsaws and different things. Well, other day we had a report. Guy said, "Hey, during the night somebody stole 3 of my chainsaws." All right, we'll send a deputy right out. And he goes, "Well, there's a wallet here with some ID in it. It's not mine." We'll be right out, even a little bit quicker, So we get out there, and Pierre Rodriguez dropped his wallet at a crime scene, and we picked him up for theft of property second, and working on trying to solve some other cases. But
some physical characteristics as well, I understand, that led you to believe that he is tied to several cases.
Yes, and we're working that. We're going to keep an eye on him, and we really appreciate him dropping his wallet. And I would love to say it was great law enforcement work, but we'll take any break we can get, and that's why we got this show, is to take any break we can get.
While you are participating in criminal endeavors, please take several forms of identification with you, and if possible, leave them at the scene of the crime.
That is much appreciated.
We appreciate your time here with us on Calhoun County's Most Wanted. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup.